I majored in Comp Lit because I've always loved reading and literature, and I kind of wanted to major in either English or Comp Lit, and I knew with Comp Lit I'd be with this kind of smaller group of people who are all intellectually inclined and very focused on kind of collaborating in that seminar environment. And I just knew a lot of the people who were going to be Comp Lit majors, and I wanted to be kind of have that small cohort of people who I'd be progressing through the major along with. And then I also got very excited about other languages and cultures that I was exposed to through CC. For example, from my study abroad in South Africa, I learned a little bit of a local language called Xhosa, and I was able to do a thesis that incorporated some of what I had learned there in South Africa with the Spanish literature and Spanish language texts that I was already interested in.
So some of the classes that I took that stood out to me were my first class, Theory and Practice of Translation with Corinne Shiner. I also took Intro to Lit Theory, David Foster Wallace, a bunch of Spanish classes, Psychoanalysis, and German Romanticism. Like, those are two separate classes with Bill Davis. And then spent almost all of my senior year working on my thesis and my linguistics capstone, where I worked primarily in the anthropology department for that. What skills did I develop? Really just how to be an articulate person. That the most important thing that you can have is just the ability to communicate in any situation, to read anything and condense it, and to apply it to the bigger picture. I think that's what really stuck with me from this program, that you're always answering like the so what.
What comes to mind for me is the second language requirement, and just stressing the fact that that's not as intimidating as it may seem. I know when I started the major, I was very nervous about that aspect of it, and I ended up learning an entirely new language and using that as my focus language. The department really does a great job meeting you where you are in terms of your second language, and they just make it a very inviting project. This task that seems so huge suddenly becomes totally attainable. To be able to read in a second language and study that language intimately is very doable. I am not a language aficionado, and I did it, so anybody can do it.
And one of the most important things that it did for me was give me the courage to believe in the randomness of my own interests and allowing that path to organically evolve over time has let me do what I feel like I'm meant to do now, but there was no direct course to it at the time. Having the faith that, I could draw those connections on my own and really pave my own way, which I feel the major has the flexibility to allow you to do.
I graduated and got a couple of part-time jobs right out of college, but then I moved to Morocco, and I was most recently a Peace Corps volunteer in Morocco in the Marrakesh region. And I would say Comp Lit really drove me to that kind of, how do you say it, to go somewhere else kind of humbly and try and learn from the people there. Comp Lit gave me the skills to critically engage with what I was supposed to be doing as a Peace Corps volunteer, while at the same time understanding another culture, and not fully understanding it, but participating as I can as an outsider, and kind of understanding my role. Comp Lit was a major part of me really understanding the world in a wider sense than just the United States or my background from coming from Omaha, Nebraska.
And I do think that my ability to communicate really well that I was able to harness within this major has played a huge role in my life, and definitely a huge role in the successes that I've had. And like I said earlier, the ability to follow my random disparate interests and believe in them and have faith in them, which was definitely emboldened by being able to do this major, has played a huge role in transitioning from, literature and arts into the arts profession. And what I do now essentially is a curator for Meow Wolf. You can't really foresee what your path is going to be. You just have to have confidence that you're working as hard as you can in the areas that you feel really passionately about. And we get that kind of advice all the time, but I can't overstate it enough, is having faith in your own specialties and areas of interest.